We're the only ones who don't like push to learn multiple languages. Goodness, I can't talk today.
Lengua.
Oh man. Anyways, hi everybody. I'm Drama.
Hey, I'm Money.
It's been a long time since we've been able to sit down and record one of these, so it's good to be back and to kind of chat with you about what's been going on in the whole process of our business. So today we're going to talk about working with manufacturers. So I actually started doing the research on how to contact manufacturers and how to research and find manufacturers. Research on research. And I initially started to reach out to manufacturers here in the U.S. because we wanted to try to make this a U.S.-based business, mostly because there's that like perceived quality that comes from U.S. manufacturing, or that perceived, like, I don't know, how would you describe that? Like goodness?
I don't know, homegrown feeling is just what we wanted to try to achieve.
Yeah, but so I reached out to a couple of manufacturers here in the U.S. who I thought were actual manufacturers in the U.S., but it actually turns out they're kind of like middle people. So they will do like the design, the engineering, and they'll build a prototype, but then they go to manufacturers overseas to actually supply the goods. And we're like, well, why don't we cut out the middle person and just go directly to the manufacturers overseas? Plus, they were quoting us at minimum $15,000, and as a business startup, we could not afford that, and that's just for a prototype, not even like a production run or anything like that. So we decided to, or I decided to look into how do we find manufacturers overseas. And all of the research I've done, everybody's been pointing to Alibaba. Alibaba is kind of like the Facebook for finding manufacturers and suppliers. It's not, everybody assumes, like, because it's a Chinese-based company, they assume that all the manufacturers are in China, but that's actually not true at all. The manufacturers are global. It's kind of, I think I just said this, maybe I said it in my head, sorry, mom brain, but they're like the Facebook.
The Facebook, she said it.
I did say the Facebook.
Twice.
We're old. I'm tired. It's late for us right now. But anyways, so Alibaba is like Facebook for manufacturers and entrepreneurs. So you just go on, you find a list of manufacturers that have products like yours, like the one that you want to build. So I did my research. I looked for hundreds and hundreds of manufacturers that have products that are similar to the ones that we want to develop. And then at that point, I was like, okay, I did all this research. Here's a list of all of the people. And I then handed it off to Joey to actually make contact with these people because I was working in the middle of the week. I didn't really have a lot of time in the middle of the week when people were actually working to contact them myself. So do you want to go ahead and share your experience with actually making contact with the manufacturers?
Yeah. I'll also include another website called the Import Yeti, which we also deeply dove into. And what the Import Yeti does is it allows you to find companies, basically any company, and then their suppliers and manufacturers wherever they may be. And so it's really cool because then we can say, oh, well, we like this type of product, and this product has this supplier in India or in China or in America. And so then we can contact that individual, and they already have like that to scale. So it's really, really cool. It led us down a lot of rabbit holes and a lot of late nights. Ashley told me, don't stay up late doing this.
I tell him that almost every night, and because our manufacturers are in China and they're a day ahead of us, their morning is our late night, so he's always staying up late.
So with Ashley saying, hey, here, take the reins, start looking at Alibaba, find individuals and these manufacturers that can make a product like ours, or help us design a product, because we were going to recreate some type of, prototype. So I did that, and I had countless nights where I was up at like 2, 3 in the morning, and then I'm chatting at individuals, and they're like, "Oh, we can do this and we can do that."
Well, so like, what was the beginning of it like? Like, how did you just start chatting with these manufacturers? Like, what was that like?
So initially, again, you have to go through this long list of products that you're searching for, and so it's like typing in something into Google Images and then looking for the right image. So at the very bottom of the page, there's multiple pages of that item. And if you find something you like, you can click on it. It takes you to that manufacturer's page, and it says, click here to speak to sales rep. And from there, then you send a message, or you can ask for a quote on the item, or whatever it may be. Every page is different because every manufacturer runs their own individual page how they please. And so I would click and I'd say, "Hello, I'm Joey Valero, COO of Baby Yoyito, and I have a question regarding this product. What can we do? How can we make changes or samples or modifications?" And at that point in time, because it's 2 a.m. in America, it's approximately 9 or 10 in that country, especially if it's in Asia, and they would respond back. And that conversation would take me into the late hours of the night or early hours of the day. But it's essentially like a chat line. They send you a message and you can respond back through Alibaba, through the secure site.
So in other words, it's actually really easy to communicate with people through Alibaba.
Quite easy.
And I know, like, I've heard so many people say, well, I don't want to do the Alibaba route because I don't speak another language. I only speak whatever. But no, there's obviously translators. And so many people, like, in America, we're the only ones who, sorry, I don't want to offend people, but, like, we're the only ones who don't, like, push to learn multiple languages. Goodness, I can't talk today.
Lingua.
Oh man. Anyways, shout out to Memo for putting a flash in my head, but thanks. Anyways, so, but in other countries, they encourage their children to learn multiple languages, so it's really easy to find somebody who speaks English or whatever language you speak very well.
Yeah, what's really, really cool about it is that the fact that not only can you just ask them to message you, obviously it's on their time and your time, so you can send a message and get a response, in minutes, hours. It just depends on their schedule. And it depends on your schedule too, so you can just click, send a message, and the next day go back to it and get messages back. And what's really, really interesting about Alibaba is that a lot of the times, these sales reps will say that we're a reputable business, you can check our sources, and it's like having Yelp also on Alibaba because it has 3, 4, 5-star reviews. It has their...
Like if they're a verified business, so like you typically want to go with those businesses with the little check mark.
Yeah, it's almost like
the blue tick on Instagram.
Correct, but at the same time, if you've ever used a AAA like tour guide, and they have like the diamonds, and the more diamonds you have, the better that business has been in it. It's like that, and so it gives you a really good sense that you don't have to be afraid. You feel more at ease and relieved that you're dealing with a reputable business, not just some company that's trying to scam you or take whatever hard-earned money you have for this product. So it was really comforting to see, all right, I like this business. I'm going to go ahead and click on them, and I'm going to see a little bit of their backstory. And I can see that through all of these almost like requirements that Alibaba has for their page.
And going back to
Import Yeti.
Import Yeti. I can't think clearly today. So going back to Import Yeti, you could often find some of these same manufacturers on that list. So if you are a fan of Columbia, the brand, and you wanted to see where they manufacture their clothing, well, it will show you on Import Yeti, and then you could actually find those companies on Alibaba. So that's just a random example, but it's really, really cool to kind of see like what other brands out there are using those same manufacturers.
Yeah. So using these websites like Alibaba, Import Yeti, does take time to get situated. You have to. It's just like any
There's
other.
a learning curve. Like it was not easy to navigate their website at first, but like once you get used to it, then it just becomes easy. Just like anything that's new.
Yeah, it's like getting a brand new phone. You have to figure out the tweaks, and once you get the ball rolling, like it literally snowballs. And so, yeah, I try not to spend countless hours in the middle of the night talking to people, but sometimes, especially because we're so excited about what we're doing, it's just something you do. And it's really, really cool because you build a really good quality communication and relationship with the sales representatives, and they send you emails back and they ask you if there's anything that they can do, and you know how things are going, not only with like our business and like the prototype or the sample or the questions we may have, but also like with our families. And that's really, really good because we're dealing with people, not just computers, not just salesmen and saleswomen. We're dealing with individuals who are doing a job just like anybody else.
And that's one thing about working with manufacturers. You have reached out to some, and they didn't respond at all. And so we're like, well, I guess it's time to move on to somebody else. But the manufacturer, there's been a couple because we were in between two. We were able to establish good relationships with both, but the one that we're working with now, and I think the one that we're actually going to go with, he has been just incredible with his communication. Like, he even, like, randomly messaged us on WhatsApp just to see if we have the app and communicate via text. So, like, not only do we have him on email, not only do we have him through the communication on Alibaba, he also has, like, our phone number. We could just text him, like, hey, what's the status on this? And so I just texted him right now. I would be checking my phone, but we're using my phone to record this to see if he responded yet. Because right now we're just in a waiting game. We have gone through a couple iterations of our product, and we really, really got specific and details of what we want this product to look like. And so it's taking them time to actually put it together, plus Chinese New Year. So our manufacturer is in China, and Chinese New Year just happened in February, so they were off for 2 weeks, so that slowed down like getting this going. And so like we totally understand, but we're just like on pins and needles just waiting. So now it's just a waiting game for our second prototype to be built and then shipped.
Yeah, I think the best way to explain it is like being a kid again and waiting for Christmas Day to come.
Totally, it's like
and
that.
And you're just like really at the edge of your seat. You wake up in the morning anticipating or looking like, okay, did I get a message? Did I get an email? You check all of those modalities, the Alibaba, the WhatsApp, the emails, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I know they said it would be X days, 10 days, or 12 days for this report to come out. And you wait for those 12 days, and you're like, okay, I should message them because it's been 12 days.
It's like an alarm that goes off. Okay, today's the day. We should have heard something.
But along the fact that, like, we're waiting and we're trying to get the product that we've designed and redesigned, provided to us in photos and images. Another really cool thing about the Alibaba website is that there can be other companies that can see that we have an interest in a type of item, and they'll actually send us like a request to say, hey, we have products that you're interested in or products that are very similar to what you're interested in. Give us a chance. Give us an opportunity to talk with you and have a consultation to see if we can be the business for you.
And I think that's how we got the second half of our first prototype was through that channel. Like them reaching out to us.
No, I looked into it.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh.
But we were looking at multiple routes, and so somebody reached out to us on that second part, and we communicated, and they said, no, unfortunately, we couldn't provide you with that sample because we would have to recreate a mold, and we don't have this mold, obviously. So
they wanted us to order 10,000 units, and we're like, yo, we still need to test this product to see if it will even sell on the market. So we, like, 1,000, sure, that's still pushing it. But 10,000?
Yeah. We need the quality control first to assure us that we're putting the best product that we can out there. And they wanted results right away, which is okay because, again, they're a business and they're interested in making multiple sales and producing a lot at a time. And for some people that might be okay, and for some businesses that have a lot of that capital that they can spend on this product, that might be the thing for them. But for us as a startup, it wasn't our route. So finding a company that is willing to work with us, willing to create one individual sample prototype so that we can test it, make modifications, maybe send another individual sample, was what we were searching for and what we believe we have found. And so, again, it takes time. Nothing, like Rome wasn't built in a day. So it does take time to find the exact thing that you're looking for on Alibaba. But, like, granted, once you do, you feel this sense of relief that you're dealing with somebody who can help you out and really recreate or create the product of your dreams so that way you can put it out there on the market. And that's kind of where we're at right now. So we're really, really excited. We want to provide you with more details, but we're just waiting on the details to provide the details to you. So we're just all playing the waiting game.
Yeah, so if you're reading our newsletter and you're getting our newsletter, we are inviting people to a focus group. So as soon as we actually have our second prototype in hand, because we believe that this is the one we will bring to market, we're going to have a focus group and we're going to invite you all to participate, and by you all who are actually on our newsletter, to participate in the focus group. And if you are not on our newsletter and you're watching this, go ahead and DM us your email and you can get on that newsletter very easily. All are welcome.
Yeah. It's going to be a wonderful ride. Like Ashley said, we're really hoping that this is the prototype for us that says, yes, this is what we want to do. We're going to put the mass order in, but we're just waiting on that, and we're just super excited. Prototype number 1 has been tested in the wild for almost, 2 months now, at least?
Yeah.
Since
longer than that.
Since about the beginning of January, I want to say both items of that prototype have been with us.
No, because we brought the second half of the prototype Christmas. And we had the first half earlier than that.
Yeah.
So we've had the first prototype and have been using it for like 3 months now. I cannot believe it's been that long.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's just everything is a work in progress, and as a parent, and then as like a husband or a wife, and then as a regular everyday working person, and everything just blends in together. And then throw in this entrepreneurship, and then talking to individuals, and not only like another time zone, but another day zone basically, with how far they are. The days turned into multiple days, and the weeks turned into months, and so like it has just been really crazy. But yeah, we've had this product for 3 months minimum.
So it's a lot of work. There is a lot of work that goes into it. But for anybody who is interested in starting a business like this, or like a physical products business, don't be afraid to like search for manufacturers overseas. It's super easy, and like they're human beings and they're really awesome, at least the person that we're working with. So don't be afraid of that. And as Joey's saying, like it takes time, and it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of waiting, but that also makes it really fun. And I think you described it best, because my favorite day in the world is the day before Christmas, is Christmas Eve, because I just love the feeling of that anticipation. And so you said it perfect, that this is like waiting for Christmas, and you're just wanting to open the presents, and like as soon as we get that package, we're just gonna tear it open and like look at it and get our hands on it. We have to try to record it, but I don't know if we'd be able to wait for our phones to get even out of our pocket before we open it, because we're just that excited. We're really proud of it, and I think that says a lot about like who we are as a company. Is like we're doing this because we really care. We're putting something out there that we're proud of. We don't want to just put something out there to get rich quick, because that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It's a lot of work and a lot of effort, but I think it's going to be worth it. So I'm Drama.
I'm Money.
And at Baby Yodita, we are all about
making family time easier.